everyone. So glad to have you here today. I am interviewing Mariel from Stargate Healing, and I have some exciting information for all of you about a very special chamber that exists here in Austin, Texas, that many people don't know about. Mariel is the guardian of this beautiful chamber, and we'll learn more about what that is in just a moment. But I wanted to share with you a little bit about who Mariel is, and then we'll get into the mystery of this chamber I'm talking about. So Mariel is an intuitive Reiki master. She's a quadruple heart healer. She became more connected with her galactic lineage that led her to her first Tachyon Chamber session in Sedona, Arizona, which changed her life. And we're going to hear more about that story soon. She then felt strongly that she needed to have her own chamber and offer this one-of-a-kind quantum healing to others, knowing the immense blessing that it is to humanity. The universe agreed, and she divinely received one of these chambers in just a week of asking the universe for one. So she's very honored in her role as a Tachyon Chamber guardian. It is with a lot of joy and gratitude that she loves to facilitate and hold space for people, souls to go on their journey through this chamber. So we're going to talk more about what this Tachyon Chamber is, Mariel. So I'd like to hand it over to you to share with us how you heard about the chamber, what your experience was, how it changed your life, and how it ended up here in Austin.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here and share this with everybody listening.
You're welcome.
So my story starts actually in Las Vegas. I had been living there for about 2.5, 3 years. And I was getting the message from Spirit for a few months that I was going to be leaving Vegas and it was going to be all of a sudden, but I didn't know how or when or why or any of the details. So I actually put all my stuff into storage, had everything packed away, and was traveling for the summer. This was this past summer. And on my travels, I was in Sedona, and I was divinely led to a group meditation where a woman sat next to me and we started talking, and everything was divinely guided. It was like my whole trip, I was just trying to be in flow. But something told me, this meditation you cannot miss. So went to that, met this woman. She took me into her healing building where she had all different kinds of gadgets in the front of the space. And then I just looked right in front of me and I just saw that there was this wall in this separate room. And I felt something and I was like, what's behind that wall? I could feel it. And she says, oh, that is my most gentle yet most powerful technology called the Tachyon Chamber. And I like to say that it aligns people with their soul mission. And I was like, okay. And then she opened the door for me. I was like, can I see it? She opened the door for me, and I started to feel really overwhelmed with emotion. And I felt a lot of energy coming through me just from standing in the doorway of it. And I was like, okay, I believe it. So I booked my appointment for the next day. And I actually do have a video I will be posting soon in detail about my first experience. But the shortened version is felt a lot going on in my first session as far as energy moving throughout my body. But the main thing was, these chambers, they do have Pleiadian support. It's a Pleiadian technology.
Okay.
So she told me, when you go in there, you can ask the Pleiadians questions. And so I went in, having questions more so about my soul mission and things like that. I get in there, and once I'm settled, I start asking, and they come in right away and they're like, shh. They're like, no. We got to work on your heart right now. And so they did this emergency energetic heart surgery on me.
Wow.
And removed this deep wound from the left side of my heart that I had been carrying for thousands and thousands of years. And this was something that was keeping me anchored in lower dimensions and kind of hindering my ascension. And they just removed it just in 30 seconds.
Wow.
And I had like a deep, deep cry of release, like the deepest cry I ever had in my life. And then I started crying out of so much gratitude, just realizing the magnitude of what had just been done for me. That
Yeah.
like so many years of this was just taken away from me in 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
And that turned into, after the gratitude turned into like joy and ecstasy and bliss and tears of that. And you know, a lot of other things happened in the experience, but afterward I was able to reach levels of joy and happiness that I was never able to reach in my life before. And
Wow.
it stayed that way. And especially being someone in the past who had struggled with anxiety and depression and things like that, that all of a sudden, like, it was like something unlocked in me. And now like I was up here. And that in and of itself was a huge blessing. So, and obviously with more exposure, that just gets better and better. But so I was just in such gratitude and such awe of my experience. And I just asked the woman, I was like, you know, not knowing, you know, how I'd be able to afford it, because it is a very expensive technology. And I just asked her, something told me just ask. And I was like, how does one acquire one of these? Because I just felt overwhelmed that like more people need to know about this. Like people don't know that this exists and how much this could help everyone. Like literally it can help everyone. And yeah, and she said to me, actually, I have a friend who has one in Austin. He's looking to sell it. And I got connected with him and he was like, yeah, I had been like closing up shop and you know, because he had to move, and he was like, if you want it, you have to be here in a week. And so I was like, okay, well, good thing my stuff is already packed.
So that's how you got yourself to Austin.
That's how I got myself to Austin. The chamber called me, yes, and I answered the call, absolutely. And it just comes full circle too that you know, she said it aligns you with your soul mission. And this ended up being my soul mission, or a big part of my current soul mission is now being this Tachyon Chamber guardian. And not only that, but also spreading the word to the masses about tachyons and tachyon energy, and just that this is even available to people.
Wow. So then my next question is, and I'm sure it's a question that many who are listening has, it's like, what the heck is a tachyon?
Right.
First, you know,
yes.
what is this tachyon? It's clearly you have these amazing experiences in the tachyon chamber, but like, what are the overall benefits? First, what is a tachyon, and then what are the benefits of being exposed to this like really quantum technology?
Yes, yes. So the easiest way to describe a tachyon is source energy in particle form. So it's the closest particle to source. And they travel faster than the speed of light, which is why if you look up tachyons, if you try to Google it, they call them a hypothetical particle. But as I know, because I've experienced it, as you know too, Linda, because you've experienced it, there's nothing hypothetical about it.
Right. Yes.
However, they say this because, you know, science will say that nothing travels faster than the speed of light at the moment. So that's why they call it hypothetical. And, you know, as we know, science aims to prove what spirit already knows, right?
Exactly.
So they'll catch up eventually.
Exactly. True.
But yeah, so they have no frequency, spin, or oscillation. They're not affected by gravity or electromagnetic forces or nuclear forces, which is why the chamber itself is completely protected and no EMF or anything gets in there. So yeah, even though you're definitely not allowed to bring any of that in there, but it's totally shielded from that. So yeah, that's more so tachyon. And yeah, it's basically the highest dimensional level of consciousness. So yeah, like I said, the closest thing to source energy that is a physical particle.
Wow.
And so, yeah. And so what sets this apart from others that you might find because there are other, if you Google again, Tachyon Chamber, you will see pictures of things that is not what I have. And so what I have is different. And it's, again, energy protected, so no photos ever allowed of it. It's a sacred space.
Right, of course.
And so the others that you might see are more so people sitting in a field of tachyonized items. So you're exposed to a tachyonized field, which is beneficial for you, but it's not the same as you yourself becoming tachyonized. So what I have is the only technology that actually is designed to tachyonize humans and attaches tachyons to your cells. And this is the difference between this chamber and others too, is that this is connected with a satellite that's attached to a real space station that ports the tachyons from out there where they're pure via like a wormhole uplink directly into the chamber in a way that they could be undistorted because of this uplink wormhole technology, because tachyons just in our atmosphere, right? Like technically tachyons are the creation particles of the universe. So they're around us everywhere all the time. We're made of them, right? But because of the density that we're in, atmospheric distortion, other issues, HARP, all these frequencies, we're blocked from getting them in their pure form. Wow. So that's why, so that's why, you know, astronauts are exposed to them when they go to space and things like that. But so this satellite that's porting them in and not allowing them to be distorted on the way because of the way that they're ported in. That's what's allowing the purity of it. And that's the big difference between my chamber and anything else that you'll see, or the chamber that I have rather, and anything else that you'll see.
Yes. So what I'm hearing is that by spending time and consistent time over time in a tachyon chamber, like the one that you have that's designed this very specific way, that over time it tachyonizes the energy in and around you so that you become like, you know, a God particle, so to speak. You become like
you become, you could think of it that way. Yeah, you could think of it that way, that you like become more and more infused with like source energy, which is true. Like your frequency will raise, your vibration will raise, your thoughts, your timelines will shift. So many things happen. It's obviously, you know, great for cellular regeneration, anti-aging, inflammation, like everything on the physical level, for sure. It's beautiful for injuries. A lot of people who have chronic pain, who have had no relief really from other methods, they have great results coming weekly. Yeah, and then over time, they could kind of wean off of it. And the great thing about this too, that is different from other healing modalities, is that you can't regress. There's no going backwards. The results are permanent. So like I also, you know, as you mentioned, I do Reiki. I'm a Reiki master, but you know, I can heal someone with Reiki, but it's up to them really to keep that energy and to hold that and not let that build back up in themselves. If they keep doing everything the same way they're doing, most likely some of that's going to come back. Whereas with the chamber, it's like people do experience miraculous healings where, like me, I had an emotional miraculous healing where that heart wound is gone and it's never coming back.
Right.
Or people have that on the physical level as well, where they feel something pop in their knee and then they have no more knee injury after, you know, and after their session. So, or like their allergies are cured or whatever it is. So yeah, it could be, it's unexpected though, sometimes.
Exactly. Well, you know, what was interesting when I had my experience, I know intentions are everything. Intentions are so powerful. And you were telling me to make sure that I have very clear intentions and just don't go in there all random, you know, because who knows what you might amplify that you don't want. Or you could surrender your intentions to the Pleiadian beings and the loving beings that work with that chamber to do deeper work or healing on you that you may not even be aware of. So when I went in, I had and in, you know, some specific intentions, and I also surrendered them. And I said, if there's something more important than these particular intentions, then please do the work on me that I'm not even aware I need, that will assist me. And you had told me that sometimes people have an experience where the beings will come in and knock you out, pull you out somewhere, and then drop you back in, and all of a sudden you're awake again. That's what happened to me. I literally went in, set my intentions, closed my eyes, gone.
Yeah.
And then literally got dropped back into my body. I don't remember what happened. I mean, there was like, and then boop, I'm here. I'm like, whoa, they did something.
Yep.
But I
Yes.
have a memory
Exactly.
of it. They literally took me out and then dropped me back. And I was like, wow. And it felt like, you know, and I think it was in there for 30 minutes because that's, I
Yeah.
think, max you can be exposed to it at one time. And I was like, whoa. But then afterwards, my experience over the course of, well, afterwards, I had gone in really heavy with, you know, all kinds of, I think, anxiety, kind of emotional stuff going on of some sort that was just heavy. Like things were heavy. My body was, everything was energetically heavy. It seemed to have cleared all of that off. And I just felt so much lighter and way less pain in my body over the course of that next week, week and a half. I just felt a whole shift, like energetically all around me. And then when I shared that with you, you were saying, oh, the tachyon glow. You had the tachyon glow because it also clears out EMF,
Mm-hmm.
you know, pollution and electromagnetic smog pollution that may be in your energy field or in your aura that does make you feel more at peace and calm. It makes you just feel good. And I did. I felt like I was in the glow for at least a week,
Yeah.
which was like, wow. And since that time, I feel there have been very deep shifts with whatever, you know, the divine beings did, because I surrendered it. So
Yes.
clearly there's been a lot of shifts happening underneath the surface that I can't quite put a word to, but I know that I'm not the same as I was before the chamber experience. So I do feel it works at a very deep level beyond our human consciousness. That's just been my personal experience.
Yes.
So that if you allow it, it will give you what you really need versus what you think you need.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what
Yeah.
makes it so exciting. And then when you said that it aligns people to their higher soul mission, this is like where we are right now with, you know, people waking up. They're like, well, why am I here? What's my purpose? What's my mission? This
Exactly.
can help, I
Exactly.
feel, to clear off the noise and the distractions in our life so that we can actually, so we can hear our soul tell us.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
And for some people too, it also aligns them with love there, because that could be part of their soul mission, could be like getting together with their twin flame or their divine partner. So
yeah.
a lot of people also can find love after their session.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like it can do everything, because the whole anti-aging thing, I'm like, yes. And lately,
Yeah.
it's so funny. I've been having a lot of people who I haven't seen for a while. They're like, Linda, you haven't aged since I last saw you. And I'm thinking,
Oh,
maybe that was the tachyon chamber.
wow.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, it's true. You get out of there and like your skin's so nice, your complexion's shiny, your eyes are really bright. And yeah, people just feel so much lighter. Like, you know, because I'm energetically sensitive, like I can feel them when they get out. And I'm like,
Yes.
you're in a totally different place. Like you feel so good right now to be around. You
Yes.
totally shifted.
Yes.
Yeah. But definitely what you were saying about expectations, and intentions. Yeah, I definitely like to tell people to set intentions. And as I mentioned, the chamber does have Pleiadian support, but also Syrian and angelic support as well. So it's nice that it's multifaceted, because you're getting the tachyons, which is more like the science-based part of it, and then our physical part of it. And then you have the higher dimensional beings and energy supporting the chamber as well. So that adds another layer of healing to it. But yeah, I definitely, so as soon as you book your appointment, the angel starts working with you. So I like, they know you're coming.
Exactly.
So
That's what I
I
tell
like
my
to,
clients whenever they book a session with me. They know you're coming, so they're going to start working on you before you ever arrive.
exactly, exactly. So I like to tell clients to set their intention kind of in the days or moments before their appointment.
Yeah.
and then let them go. I'm like, just let them go without attachment. And when you show up, just have no expectations. Just go in there, open and relaxed, being like ready to receive whatever you're meant to receive, because it really is an interactive technology. Because I don't think we mentioned on here yet that it's totally organic. And what I mean when I say that is there's no power, there's no electricity, there's no on switch. It's none of that. It just works off of energy and very precise alignment. So yeah, so it basically interacts with your energy matrix based off of where you're at the time, like where your vibration is at the time, your consciousness even at the time, and what is highest priority for you at that exact moment that you're in there, and what you are willing and able to receive as well. And so just, it's really interesting because that's why it's different for every person every single time. And I know, sorry, go ahead.
No, well, of course, it sounds like it, I mean, it clearly is very advanced technology that's beyond the technology we understand, 3D matrix technology.
Absolutely. It's beyond our comprehension. Yes.
It's very high level. And I love the fact that it's organic. So nobody's going to be exposed to EMFs or any kind of electrical thing. There's nothing like that, like you said, because it's truly an organic experience where you don't have any of that stuff around you. So it's not like you're be stuck inside some kind of strange, like actual electrical chamber of some, it's nothing like that at all.
Right. And it's, and that's nice too, because then it's a completely customized experience for each person as well. It's not everyone gets the same thing. But to add to that, I wanted to say, like, in my experience, for example, just to show that it goes off of like where you're at, like, on days that I go in there and maybe I'm more stressed and more in my like monkey mind, of course, I still get all the benefits. And of course, I do still feel a lot going on, but I might not get as many like visuals or messages about what's actually being worked on or what's happening in there. And then other days when I'm very psychically tapped in, I'm like getting the full details. Okay, we're working on this part of your leg, and we've gone as far as we can with that at this moment. We have to finish it next time. And it's like, I don't know why, it's just their divine plan, whatever, and then in those times I get the message as well. Like in the times that I'm getting all the details, I get the message like, all these things are happening every time you're in here. It's just that your consciousness isn't open to the messages every time, because you're vibrating lower in that moment or whatever it is, that you're not like aware of what's actually going on, but that is going on every single time.
Whether you're aware or not. Absolutely. It's typical of higher quantum technologies to begin with, is that you're not if you're not at that level of vibration yet, you're not going to be able to consciously receive it until things shift in you, until you're elevated.
Right. Which is why sometimes too, people need like one session just to kind of like boost them up. And then their second session is when they really feel it. That I haven't had that experience with most people. Most people do feel it their first time, but there's some people that like need a little boost first.
Yes, exactly. And it's true that everyone has their own unique experience, because I've sent several people to you already, and every single person has shared a very different experience that they've had, because it's unique to what you're needing as far as quantum healing. So I want to go back to, what are all the benefits that we know of by being exposed to a tachyon chamber?
Okay. Well, so many. It's like, like we said, it's really infinite, because if you think about it, that if it's source energy in particle form, like source is everything. So it can literally heal anything that you need. It's more about, again, like what you specifically need in that moment. So it could be physical injuries, it could be physical pain, inflammation, and like we said, it's definitely detoxifying, the cellular rejuvenation, anti-aging, and then definitely like mental emotional healing. It's great for anxiety, depression, definitely improves mood. I have some amazing clients who are in recovery, former addicts that attribute their regular sessions to staying sober, that they feel that this is what has helped them stay on the path, because it just totally reframes things for them, and they're just like a lot more positive. And that's really helped. Yeah, so it's great for addiction. Energy healing as well, like any kind of blockages in the body, obviously like chakra realignment, all that. And then spiritual as well. People have had spiritual awakenings in there. People have, psychedelic mushroom or ayahuasca type experiences in there as well. Like it's not every time, but
without ever having to do the plant or flying to Peru.
Exactly. People, yeah. So people can get a lot of messages. A lot of people talk about like seeing, sacred geometries in there and light codes. So they're getting those downloads, they're getting those light codes. Many people also, which was something I wasn't expecting, and no other chamber guardians have really told me about this, but people actually are visited by their loved ones who have passed, and communicate with them in there, just because it's just, you're in a different realm. People do a lot of astral traveling and journeying, and that's part of
me.
Yes, I was gonna say, part of what happens here, it's like they take you, you go somewhere and you get put back. And so strengthening immunity, and as we mentioned before too, harmonizing EMF and electrosmog, so really helps your body deal with that, what it's already been exposed to, as well as it does give you like a protective shield against that for about 1 week. So the effects of the tachionization are permanent, but the only temporary part is the protection of the EMF and electrosmog, because we are so bombarded that builds up again in about a week. And this is the fun one. It's an amazing manifestation tool because it is a 0-point field. So people have great experiences, like, oh, I want a baby, or help me find a house, or whatever it is, and it really happens for them. And it's also great to do, like if you're not in a state where you're meditating or journeying in there, it's great to do like some I ams in there, because it's like a million times more powerful doing your I ams and affirmations inside there versus somewhere else.
Wow. So that's just making me think. So if nothing else, if anything that we've said just sounds too out there for you, if nothing else, it's going to amplify your manifestation desires in the world. And also, if nothing other than just a deep relaxation, because I know for me, I was like zenned out.
Everyone is. Everyone takes like a full almost 5 minutes to get out of it. They're like, okay, I'm coming. They need a moment. Before they stand up, they're like, okay, hold on.
Exactly. And the truth is that if we could have more moments of just being in that zenned out, non-stress state, of course our health is going to improve. Of course, our mental state, everything's going to improve. So if you can't handle anything else you said, just know that deep relaxation is definitely a pretty guaranteed outcome of that. And then the other thing, of course, I have to say is that we're not claiming that this organic quantum technology heals anything. We have to say that because, the outer world doesn't want us claiming things, and I don't want this video shut down. So what we are saying is that people have had these experiences, and it's a unique
people have been healed.
And it's their personal, type of, witness testimonies that actually you have seen, that you've shared, and then that I have experienced, or that some of the clients I have sent have shared with me. So we just want to know that you're not putting any guarantee that it's going to
absolutely
heal anything. That obviously it's between the person in the chamber and the divine beings and these beautiful tachyon particles as to what the outcome is going to be, and then how many times you get exposed to it over time. So is there like a certain number of times? Like what's the tip?
It depends on what people are coming for. Like if people are coming more for spiritual reasons, like they want a more spiritual awakening, or they're coming as part of their ascension journey or their soul mission, that's like a different amount of times. If they're coming for chronic pain or addiction, that's something else. And then there's things in between. And, you know, even if they have, this is like more of a custom, but if someone has like a really serious illness, like cancer or something like that, that's like, would be a lot of exposure over a shorter period of time, like, okay, hours a day for a week and a half or whatever it is. And that would be more of like a custom setup. So it's really, what you feel called, but everyone's free to ask me to help customize a plan for them. Most people feel great about coming once a week.
Right,
That
exactly.
seems to be the most popular. Yeah.
Unless something real severe is happening for you and you're really needing some extra exposure, I can see where, you know, you would be able to do that. So
yeah, but I would say people for people who are coming for like ascension or spiritual awakening, that actually is recommended to do more appointments closer together. So maybe like 5 appointments in 1 week or something like that, like coming almost every day or every other day. And it's recommended 20 minutes is the official recommendation of exposure. I give 30 minutes a session because I feel like people want some time to relax and get into their meditative state. And so if they want more exposure, people actually, it's recommended to do like 2 a days with like a few hours in between rather than one longer session.
Got it. Yes.
Yeah.
Time to kind of integrate actually.
Yeah, it's like recalibrate, and then you're coming in at a new baseline so you could be lifted higher is basically what it is. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Very interesting. So if people wanted to have an experience, then they could contact you by texting you to set up an appointment.
Yeah, they could go on my website and book an appointment through my Calendly there, and I have packages available there as well as remote sessions. And then if they feel they want to text me or email me, that's fine too.
So how would what's the website?
So it's stargatehealing.org.
stargatehealing.org, and we're going to put this in the description below so you'll know how to do that. And then what would be the text number if they want to just text you directly to make an appointment?
Yeah, so the text number is 512-553-5616.
So 512-553-5616. And I know that, you know, obviously everyone who may be watching this video may not live in Austin, Texas. So you told me that there is the possibility of remote as well. So how does that work? If somebody's watching this from another state or another country and they're like, I want this, how do you work with them?
Totally. So, I mean, this is a quantum healing technology, right? These energies are coming from higher realms. So it doesn't really matter where you are, the energy will still reach you. Obviously, it's a different experience being directly in the chamber, which is why for a remote session, the price is a lot lower, but it's still absolutely effective, just in the same way that, you know, remote healing is effective as with like Reiki, right? Or even, you know, like with a psychic or if you're having a reading, they call you over the phone. You don't have to see them in person because they're working up here.
You clients that work with me, you know, it works.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the same thing. So, but basically what I ask is that people send me a photo of them, and I print out the photo and I write their name on it, and I put that on the bed in the chamber, just like as if they're having their session in there. And I ask them to create a sacred space for themselves. We set a time for them to, you know, lay down, relax. I suggest always like in the dark is best, and just they're there to receive their healing. And I kind of go about the prep the same exact way of what I tell clients who are coming in person. And the chamber knows to send that energy to them.
Yes, of course, because it's quantum and it's advanced.
Yeah.
And know where you're located.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
And
it does work. It does work.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. So the chamber right now is located in North Austin. Is that right? Off of Anderson Lane?
It's in Crestview. Yes, Crestview in Austin.
Okay, beautiful. So if people wanted to go in person, all they have to do is either text you or go to your website, stargatehealing.org. or
Mm-hmm.
call you at 512, well, not call you, but text you at
They
512.
could call too. Yeah.
Okay, 5616, and then get that appointment. Now, I know
Exactly.
you and I are going to experiment in the following month with doing maybe a once a month group experience where we have a
Yes.
small number of people that go into the chamber with one person as the proxy. And so that so more people can have like maybe a group experience, as well as, of course, always having individuals. So I would say both for people to try out. So we'll be
Yeah.
sending out an email at some point for those of you that are on either her email list or mine, announcing the date and time of when we're doing the group experience. But I highly recommend your own individual one. And all you have to do is mention to Mariel, hey, I saw that video, Mariel, with you and Linda. And then she'll give you a special rate for your first experience. And like I said, she has packages and it's very reasonable. I know what people pay for healing stuff and what they pay me. So it's very reasonable what she offers for this very high-end technology. So, and the fact that it's here in Austin and that we have this here, because from what I understand, there's not too many chambers of this caliber in the world.
Yes, of these chambers, there's only 14 in the US
Wow.
that are open to the public. And I am the only one in South Central US. Like the closest ones to here are like Denver and North Carolina and Sedona. They just had open one in Sedona as well, another one.
Okay.
So
now,
those are the closest. So for this part of the country, it's just me.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
is there any other thing that you want to share with people about the Tachyon Chamber before we close? Because I really do hope that people get curious enough to at least try one session and see how it goes. But I personally would say try a couple and see how things start to shift for you. And especially right now, we're in such powerful transformational times, and we're having to shift at such kind of beyond, the speed of light. We're having to shift and change. I feel like being exposed to, the source energy directly can be so helpful for getting us aligned to, our journey here on the planet and why, what we're here to do. Even if you already know what your journey is, my gosh, there is still so much, noise and layers and karma and stuff we have to clear off, on top of course, the things we're wanting to manifest. And we want to amplify that by aligning to divine source so that these manifestations can come to pass. So I do feel that this technology kind of like it's time, because
Absolutely.
we need to be supported in as light workers, star seeds, etc., for the work. So I really do feel that this is a very powerful technology that's here for those who know they're being called and they're needing some extra support, energetically for what.
Yes.
So
yes, absolutely. Yeah, I would like to just add, as far as the group sessions too that we're trying out, the energy from the chamber itself is very powerful. And just like there's, all different kinds of grids on the earth, there's a tachyon chamber grid on the earth as well, helping the planet's ascension. And so the energy from the chamber goes out 25 miles. So so that's why I just want to add to people, like, and as you know, Linda, too, just being in the office, not even being in the chamber room, you feel the chamber, you feel the energy. It's definitely, you're affected by it. You're in the tachyon field. So I just wanted to add, and some people say to me, like, who are sitting in my office, they're like, how do you stay here 8 hours a day? Like it's so like, they're like, how do you get anything done? And I'm like, yeah, I know. So just wanting to add that being in the chamber, even if you're not for the group session, even if you're not in the position of the person on the bed, you're absolutely still feeling the energy. I was walking around in there the other day and, had it, was not on the bed, just walking around, and had like a beautiful, just so touching, like, embrace with the chamber angel. And it was, I can't even, like, I was so overwhelming in the best way. So definitely those energies are around you, working with you, you're fully exposed. So I just wanted to add that too. Yeah. And this is just really, it's really such a gift. Like you said in the beginning, like this chamber really is a blessing to humanity. That's why I got into this. This not only heals on all levels, but is
Yeah,
helping raise consciousness, helping
right,
us
right.
reach these higher dimensions, helping anchor in these new earth timelines, like all these things that a lot of us have
Yes,
been working for and wishing for. Like this came in to be like, okay, let's speed it up a bit. You know what I mean? Like here
yeah,
we are.
yeah,
And this is, a lot of people talk about med beds and things like that. And like this is on the way to that. This
yes,
really is, except this is, in my opinion, even better because it has a spiritual component to it, which med beds don't. Like you're not getting any kind of spiritual awakening or, talking with guides or anything like that in a
yes,
med bed. That's purely
right,
physical healing. This is on all the levels. This is like, you don't know what you could be shown in there.
right, exactly.
It's there's so much, and it's just a beautiful experience, especially people who are lucky enough to get visuals and things like that too, like seeing angels in there. People have, and the geometries and light
Yes,
beings and whatever else, or just your own internal journey going
yes,
in there.
yes,
um but yeah, so I would just like to add that it's, again, best to just have no expectations. Like some people go in there like me and like other clients I've had, and they have a miracle experience their first
right,
session. They really do. They have a miraculous healing. Some
yes,
people have a miraculous healing their fifth or sixth session, or maybe
right,
even later. Some
yes.
people never do. And it's just a gradual improvement in basically every area of their life.
Wow.
So, but it's just, some people, it's just little by little. It's like they know it's doing something. And sometimes people can't even, a lot of people come out and they're speechless. They're like,
Right.
I cannot describe what happened to me. And they're like, I know
Exactly.
something big happened, but like I cannot put it into words. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if it's quantum, it goes beyond
Yes.
our mind's ability to understand.
Yes.
I just keep thinking, wow, you're being exposed to source energy particles, in a pure way. So it's like, it's
Mhm.
kind of like, for me, I'm thinking like it's God raining down its energy on you. It's source raining down its energy on you in pure form.
Yes.
Um, so it is very sacred.
Yes.
That's how I see it. It's very rare, and I know the way that you treat your space. Your space is so beautiful.
Oh,
You can
thank you.
feel the energy in it. You treat it very sacredly. So the people that go, it is a sacred experience.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm
Thank you.
like, woohoo! We need more
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of
Tachyon
people.
chambers.
Yes. And I do sell them if anybody wants to buy a chamber.
Woohoo! Get your own.
Um,
Holy cow!
yeah, get your own in your house. That's awesome. But yeah, a lot of people describe the feeling of the energy that you mentioned as the same kind of feeling as like being sun-kissed, like laying in the sun and feeling the sun on your skin, like that kind of feeling, but without the heat.
Right.
Or they'll describe it as like space cuddles, something like that.
I love that. I've never heard that, space cuddles.
I know, it's
And for
fun.
those people that aren't into Pleiadian Syrian,
Yeah.
remember, she did say angelic. So those of you that have been big
Yes.
into the angelic, the archangel realms, I for one very much felt that when I was in the chamber.
Absolutely.
But then I'm also very connected with both Syrian and Pleiadian energies because I use those in the work that I do. I
Yeah.
call those beings as part of the work that I do. So
Yeah.
they're all my buddies. So for me,
Yeah.
it was like, oh, hey, everybody.
Right. And just like with anything else, things are gonna present to you in your context of
Yes,
what you're most comfortable with and
exactly.
being shown, like I did actually happen to see Jesus in there the other day, but Jesus came to me.
Wow.
But yeah, so some people it ends up being like their loved ones that have passed over, that's who shows up for them, or maybe they just see pretty lights or whatever
Yeah,
it is. So it's definitely not like you go in there and you're bombarded with any kind of images that you don't want to see. It's not that kind of
exactly.
experience. Yeah.
No, it's very loving. It definitely is an energy that is otherworldly, very unconditionally loving. And if it's source energy, of course, it's pure love, you know,
Right.
at its core. And so this is why, when I went in there, I mean, I just went into such, like I said, it's such a deep Zen state very quickly. And then they took me somewhere and they brought me back off. And I was like, okay, thanks, whatever y'all did, because it really helped.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is repeat one more time. It's the stargatehealing.org website where they can look at the calendar and set up an appointment for an individual with you, or they can text you to 512-553-5616 and say, hey, I saw you in an interview with Linda and I want to have, a special,
Yes.
session with you. And then you'll get a wonderful session rate for this to experience it. And then of course, if you want more, great. And then we're going to be doing a group experience the following month, or months. We'll see how that goes. And I know we have limited numbers of people that can do the group because of the size of the room.
Yes.
So it said maybe 8 at a time.
9.
9. Okay, so
9.
So yeah, so when we put it out, you're gonna have to register quick before those nice slots go away.
Yep.
So anyway, well, anything else, Mariel, before we close?
I think that's it. There was something, but it left me, so it's not meant to be.
Right, not meant to me.
Yeah.
But I am so happy that you are in Austin, that you heard the call to become a guardian of one of these very powerful chambers. I look forward to having some more of my own personal experiences with the chamber.
Yes.
So for the group experience we're going to offer soon, and also to all of you out there who are going, ooh, I gotta try this.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy you're here in Austin. I'm very happy that you're offering this beautiful healing to humanity at this next level, because this is the time for this.
Yes.
And I'm sure we'll have other interviews again in the future about other topics around all this quantum healing fun stuff. But for now, thank you so much for coming on and sharing about the Tachyon Chamber here in Austin, Texas. And I hope people will try it out and share with you and me what their experiences were.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's my joy to bring this to everyone. Like, I feel that the chamber should be at capacity because it doesn't get tired. Like I said, there's no electricity. It's always there, just waiting for someone to heal. So like, just wanted to reach as many souls as possible, as many people as possible. Yeah, because it really is just unbelievable. It's such a blessing. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Mariel. I know that this Tachyon Chamber is really doing some beautiful work through you to reach so many souls that are needing this higher quantum, healing technology. So thank you for being that guardian. And we will connect again in the future. And thank you for being here. And thank you to the Tachyon Chamber and that source energy that flows out from it.
Yes, it's my joy. Thank you so much for having me, Linda. Blessings to you.
Blessings, blessings.
Blessings.